In terms of money, how much money, can you say how much money some of these mega churches are making and what some of the salaries are with the more senior people like the pastor and whoever will be the second and third in command?
In the 2000s, some of the people we were investigating, like Benny Hinn, admitted publicly that they were getting about $150 million a year going through their organization. That's about 15 years ago. It's a lot of money. And we were, in 2005, we found a particular lawyer that worked for Benny Hinn and a number of other televangelists. And we were raiding their dumpster 5 nights a week because that's when how often the trash would come pick up out of that dumpster. And we found information, N numbers of jets, names of personal companies owned. We found a letter from a guy that had a homosexual relationship with Paul Crouch Sr. that was outing himself because he felt like the hypocrisy was too great, and we were worked with the LA Times on that. But I'm losing track of your question for a second. Can you repeat the question again?
I was just really trying to get a sense of the kind of money.
Oh, that's what led me down that trail. Sorry. So we found Benny Hinn's salary in the trash. We found and his family, and his daughter, who was 18, was making $90,000 a year, just her first year on the job, or it might have been 60, and her son-in-law 90,000. And Benny Hinn was making 1.6 million, I believe, at the time, plus another 400,000 a year from another document we found from another company that was privately owned called Clarion Call Marketing. And it was all legal. He signed a document saying that he was a consultant. So it was a consultant's fee that he was getting from this organization. But this organization was selling his personal products back to the ministry. Clarion Call Marketing was selling the DVDs and Benny Hinn's books back to the ministry so they could give the books out again to donors so people could feel like they're getting something in exchange for their donation. You know, they say, okay, for a donation of $25, we'll send you this little pamphlet. Or for a donation of $100, we'll send you this Benny Hinn Bible. Or for a donation of $250, we'll send you this little replica of a doorpost with blessings from God. So it's barely legal in my mind, and in the people I work with. I think it's immoral, but it's legal the way they were doing it.
Oh.
But the salary of that family was well over $2 million when you added all the money together. His wife was making $240,000 a year, and she would appear on the show a few times, and they're back to other organization salaries. We've looked at the people that run television networks, like Kevin Adele, who runs the Word Network. He was making $5 million in a year in some cases. And so he lost his tax-exempt status, and he reinvented his organization as a church. So there's no way to know how much he's making now. He could be making more now. That's Kevin Adele, who owns and runs the Word Network. Then there's David Cirillo, who runs what used to be INSP, the Inspirational Network. and he was making millions of dollars a year. It still is. Um, then then there's the matter of televangelist jets, like Kenneth Copeland's organization has a couple of jets. They have a Gulfstream 4. They have a Citation 10, which was state of the art 10 or 15 years ago, and still may be the fastest private jet that flies.
Yeah. So
I'm not saying he owns these personally.
mm,
But we counted over 170 trips to his resort home up in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, in the jet that's owned by his ministry, and that doesn't include hunting trips and things like that we found about in the 2000s.
the more you talk about this sounds like a retail business model, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So you have a retailer like Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
They have this big space, and within that space, they have shelves of different kinds of goods and products, and there's different price points, and they're selling different goods depending on what people's needs or the customers' needs may be. And when I compare that to some of these mega churches and televangelists, it sounds like a very similar business model in that, oh, okay, well, you're a person who has an illness. Well, we have a product for you. We're going to send you that little rug, like you mentioned, or we'll send you this wallet, or we'll cater to whatever your emotional needs are, or wherever your sensibilities are, and I'm sure they're collecting information, and they have assigned a price to what people in different backgrounds are willing to pay for that.
Or in some cases, they're also sending out letters that say, God, make your first fruit offering, like Paula White, letters from Paula White. Say, make your, quote, your first fruit offering, and God will bless you and heal you. He'll heal you financially. He'll heal you. This is your year of blessing. And so they're using a lot of the same terminology that a salesman would use. This is your year. This is buy this product. This is gonna make your life wonderful. And that's we used to call it God's heavenly lottery. You give money to this, and God, you're on this wheel of fortune, so to speak, and God is gonna bless you. You're giving to this heavenly lottery. But the problem is, it only works for the people that are at the top, the televangelists that are getting the money, and it's going to work from time to time just by the laws of chance and nature, and there are people that are going to give and get a check in the mail a week or two later that they would have gotten anyway. And so now it's God. God answered my prayer, and so. But especially this church called St. Matthew's churches that I was telling you about.
Where are they based?
They've been based in California and Los Angeles. Then they came to Dallas. And now they seem to be based in Tulsa.
Oklahoma,
right.
Okay.
So, but their money still comes to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to a T.O. box in Tulsa. And it goes through a caging operation. And it was in the basement of their lawyer, and I don't know if it still is or not. But there would be 10 or 12 people opening the mail, putting the money in one basket, and putting the checks in another, and putting the prayer requests in another. Because, like I said, the prayer requests are important to their operation. And the prayer requests put in a bag, and taken to a bank of generally foreign nationals that are low-paid computer operators, and they enter in your name and your address if it changed, and they keep the databases current and your prayer requests, so that the next letter you get is going to say, just like it did in the 90s, it's going to say, "Dear Imani, we're praying for your loved one that she be healed or that he be healed.
Mm.
God would bless you and heal your financial situation." And so this caging operation for St. Matthew's churches is probably still in Tulsa, but like you were talking about product, that's people are the end product in the religion business.